Good day, brother. Good day, good day. How you doing, Cameron? All right. What's going on, Larry?
Good. Oh, you know we live already, man.
I know it.
Oh man, well you gotta let me know. We still waiting on you, ain't we?
I told you I was. No, you didn't hear me. I said we're going live just to already be live at 1.
Oh, they kind of like a warm up type thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I ain't hear you on that one.
Okay.
So we got somebody else. We got Cameron. He's gonna be on the show with us, or he in the audience?
He in the audience.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I ain't used to stream y'all. So.
Yeah. It's all good. So yeah, we here, man. ADOS Atlanta. We're gonna have Shamika join us pretty soon. This should be an interesting conversation. Cause yeah, they running games, man. I wanna let's talk about what this show is really about. Does this mural make any sense? Can you hear me, Larry?
Yeah, he had one out for a second.
Okay, what all did you hear?
I don't know. I was asking you. I was want to make sure I was going to share it in the ADOS Atlanta private group. I was want to know if it was shared in there.
Yeah, you can share it in there.
All right. How do I is there a link? How do I share using this thing? Oh, hold on. You put it in it's in a public group, right?
Yes, in the public group. So you should share it from the public to the private.
Yeah, let me do that.
All right. But yeah, good day, ADOS family. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
Let me share. Copy.
What's up, ADOS Norfolk, Virginia? Everybody everybody talk about where you from. Put in the chat where you from, man.
Where you from? Where you from? All right.
Was you able to share it?
Yeah, I put it in the private group. Let me see if I can. Let me see if they can. They are accepted in the big group.
Lorenzo Jenkins say, I don't want to see Obama and Kamala murals for the next 2 generations, as if they changed the landscape of ADOS. Yeah, that part about it is, the scary part is they have changed the landscape, but they changed it for the worse, or they added to the worseity, if that's a word.
Yeah.
All right, North Cat Glad. Marn, you in the West End, so you already know what time it is.
Oh yeah. Let me see if I can put this. Let me try to share this on Twitter.
All right. So, Larry, did you hear me speak about the mural at all?
When? Today?
Yeah.
Bro, I ain't hear none of that, bro. Like your screen went to the background. I ain't hear nothing. Yeah, I ain't hear nothing you said.
Okay, so I wonder, you might not be able to hear me when the background is up. Maybe that's the issue.
It tells me I'm in the background.
Okay, so that makes sense. We can't share audio while we're in the background. So let me show this mural. Let me post this mural. Well, y'all done seen the mural. Basically,
I thought you was gonna have it in your background. That's what I thought. Like how right now we see like your room or whatever. I thought it was a way you can put it, make a background where make your own type background.
Yeah, I know what I'm gonna do. I know what I'm gonna do. Hold on.
Shamika says she backstage. Let her in.
All right, let me let you in. Hold on. I don't see you backstage, Shamika. Come around the other way. You know we don't come through the front door in the hood. We come through the side door.
Side door. Don't come in that front door letting that air condition out.
Come on now.
When we coming in and out my house, you talking about you gonna stay in, right, or you gonna stay out?
That's right. But yeah, as I pull that up, man, I don't want to prolong it. But yeah, the mural is of Kamala Harris as an adult, as a child, as a college student at Howard University. And like I say, it's smack dab in the hood. Like if you're coming from the West End down Ralph David Abernathy and you turn, and it turns into Cascade, you cross the beautiful restaurant to your left, it forks in the road at Benjamin E. Mays. At the very beginning of Benjamin E. Mays is this mural, right smack dab in the hood.
In the heart of Adolph right, country.
Mm-hmm.
Man, and where I stay at, bro, I can't even. If I go that way, I gotta look at it, bro. I can't even dodge it. You know what I'm saying? I gotta look at that thing almost every day, man. I can't. Oh my God, really?
Yeah, your street runs right into it.
Mm-hmm. I want to try to get Shamika in before we get into it.
Yeah. That's cool.
I'm in the backstage.
She's in the backstage. Does she see us? Oh, hold on. Let me do something. My bad. I'm tripping. I need to scroll down. And then I'll see her in the backstage.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. Hold on. I got you, Shamika. Let me see how to. There you go. Now I see you. All right.
What's going on?
What's going on?
We in here today.
I told Larry, you don't come to the front. You came to the wrong and open up the front door. What's going on with you?
Ready for this discussion.
While we wait on Larry, I need to pull up that image.
Does it look like this?
Hey, Shamika.
What's going on?
Nothing much, man. Ready to get into this thing. I'm in the background for some reason, man. Hold on. Turn my thing down.
Share screen.
Oh yeah, that's better. When Shamika came in and made the screens smaller, so you can see the mural better.
Yeah. So yeah, this is the mural we're talking about, and to add insult to injury, it's got Blame Big on it. So they playing on the Martin Luther King legacy, right? And they playing on change and dream big, as if she came from the mud. As if she came from the ADOS soil that they have her placed in. When she's had a totally different experiences of. So I just wanted to start there, man. That's what I see when I see this. I and I take nothing. We're gonna go into the actual artist in a minute, taking nothing away from that sister. She got permission to do it. She's talented, but I have an issue with this being placed smack dab in Southwest Atlanta when we know the record of Kamala Harris.
Yeah, and that's what I thought too when I first saw it. I didn't even know it was there till maybe a month or so ago. I'm riding down. I'm probably about to go to Big Daddy's, get me a plate or something. I'll look over. I'm at the light. I'll look over right across the street. I'm like, who is that? I'm like, who is that? You know what I'm saying? That just shocked me. You know what I'm saying? So when I seen that, man, I just felt some type of way. And I said, somebody got to say something. Like, can't nobody just let this be here and nobody not say nothing. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
We want to let people know that we all three of us live in Southwest Atlanta, right in the area, in the neighborhood. People from the outside we right here. We stay right here right now. I don't know why anybody else here in background is just me.
No, that's
Ray, you got the live up, Ray? Oh, okay.
Yeah, let me count this right here. Hold on. See what's going on here with this. Hold on. I'm trying to cancel this. Oh man, I'm not responsive.
Why you, Ray? Why you doing that? Let me, can I share my screen real quick?
No, I don't think you can because
I think I can. I got the book right here.
my StreamYard is not responding. Okay, try it.
All right. I'll give it a shot.
I don't like the way they count.
Y'all see it? Y'all see my screen? Ray, can you hear me?
Can you?
Hey, you know how you do that. Because it got me looking like a damn. What's her name?
Ray, can you hear me? I can't hear me.
I don't like that. You can't. It's like I have no color at all. Yeah, it's like. Yeah,
Ray,
Nah, it ain't like somebody that shit got no color. It's the camera on the laptop. It ain't.
Shmi, can you hear me?
Have some sex on, we can go in there.
Hold on. I can hear you.
Yeah, you need to mute. You need to mute. Ray, what about you, bruh? Ray, you look froze, man. Technical difficulties. Ray, you are frozen. I can't hear nothing now. I cannot hear nothing. I can't hear nothing now. Mic check. Anyone there?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. I'm having a Ray.
Can you see yourself? It's better. Let's see. It's the natural light that you need. So it may be the light bulb. I'm gonna change the light bulb out.
Give us a moment, y'all, while we get some technical
That's good. That looks good.
fixed.
It's kind of bright. You get light and sound, man.
I hear.
Yeah, that's good. You need some.
Tell Donnie I said, "What up?" I hear you, brother. She don't call IT. She don't call the IT man. Come fix the computer.
Trying to be the sound man over here, Larry. Trying to be the sound and the light man.
Yes, sir. Let me see if I can show this. Share my screen real quick. Can you see my screen, Shamika?
Not yet. Oh, that don't worry.
Let me just stop real quick.
All right, my bad. Can y'all hear me?
Oh yeah, you back now.
Okay, dang. What I miss?
Nothing really, because Shamika, she had some technical. She was getting her light and her light straight, and so I was trying to share my screen.
Okay.
Y'all ready to continue?
Yeah, let's do it. All right.
All right, let me try to share my screen again. All right, let me know if y'all can see it. Can y'all see it?
Yep.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, this is just everybody see like a more fuller picture of it. This is the painting we're talking about. I guess it's Kamala Harris when she was in college, and her now smack dead in the middle of Southwest Carolina.
Larry, I'm sorry. Do you have on two devices? Does someone have two devices on?
Let me try. No, but let me try something. Hello. Man, I see. I don't got two devices on.
Nah, I don't have on two devices.
Mic check. Why am I? Yeah, let me double check. I don't got two. I don't got nothing else. I don't got it streaming in the background or nothing. I'm not sure why I'm getting feedback. Let me go into the audio.
Okay, don't worry about it. Just go ahead. We'll get the feedback or the relay.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, it's some feedback.
Oh, that's bad. Hello?
I hear you fine.
Oh, okay. Let's go ahead and where we left off at. I think we were talking about initial feelings about the mural.
Yes. Let's talk about it.
What's Shamika, what's your initial feelings about it?
Well, I mean, I just think that a lot of people are just so busy trying to make other people us, and have no clue, as to the differences between the lineages. She looks like us, but how much does that really matter? There's a lot of people that look like us, and they're just not us. And so we're so caught up in symbolism that a lot of times we get bamboozled, and we're being tricked and don't even know it. And because we have not killed the Obama situation, or people have not come to terms with the Obama situation. This is just Obama 2.0. You know what I'm saying? It's on steroids.
Mhm.
A lot of people don't understand that, you know, even though this show is obviously about Kamala and her background, but it's the same. So Obama dad is Kenyan, came here to go to school, and his mom is a white lady. He was raised by his white family. And so it's kind of the same thing. So Obama is really a chocolate covered white man, really. And he's a white man with a Kenyan father, basically, which does not mirror any of our lives at all. So it's the same thing with Kamala, right? Um, and even if it also mirrors even the situation with their fathers, like the one side that's supposed to make them black, right? They don't even deal with them. So like Kamala don't even deal with her dad. Like she don't deal with her dad at all. And it's really kind of like almost the same with Barack. You know, it's the same thing. The one part of their family that makes them black, they have no connection with. So Kamala, mom is Indian, which she came here to go to school too, right? She came here in the 60s and she was a scientist while we were still trying to get it out the mud. You know what I mean? We fighting for just civil rights, simple rights, stuff that people supposed to be born with. We was fighting for that while her mama was here going to school. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
and going to school and had opportunity and access to things that we just had no access to. So how does she become us then? Right? So she used the busing situation when in fact the school that she was talking about was already integrated. So you wasn't here. You got here after the smoke cleared. That's
Yep.
what happened, Kamala. You got here after the smoke cleared. You know what I'm saying? You didn't deal with the smoke that we've always dealt with and dealing with now. And so my issue with it all is that we have to be honest with the fact that if you're not us, we just have to be okay with that. We have to be okay with the differences. I don't have a problem with you being different than me, but don't use my political clout, the little political clout that I have, to make your life and when it's convenient for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, 100% agree. You know. All right.
Yeah, I want to discuss the author or the artist a little bit before we dig into it. Can you pull up the sister Ashley?
Yeah. Let me go ahead and go to her website.
Because like I say, it's nothing personal against her. We know how it goes. People get commissioned. She's an artist, and she's actually done a lot of pieces in the city. And we know our people ain't really grounded in the politics like that, right? You know?
Y'all see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes, we can see it.
So here is the sister. You want to go ahead and continue talking, Ray?
Yeah, Ashley D. Paints. And her name is what is her name?
Ashley Dobson.
Ashley Dobson. So yeah, you know, if you go to her site, if you go up to the top a little bit, and that's her bio. Go to the Atlanta music. No. Yeah, Project Mural. Oh well, she done did a lot of those. She actually done did all those pieces, but
Yeah, she done did
even
all.
that, like she done did a lot of pieces all over the city.
Yeah, and you know, most of her pieces of Adolf's life.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, she got commissioned to do this by the city. That's the piece in the West End. I'm not a real fan of that piece because I feel like they're using black women as the face of the Democratic Party. and they merged a lot of different ideas in this. You got Black Lives Matter down there. You got a whole bunch going on. So to me, they had to get out the vote. Somebody got to get out the vote sign. To me, that mural actually just represents the Democratic Party and how it's being, how Black women are basically, I hate to say it, but is it fair to, I think we're all mules, being used as mules for the Democratic Party, but the Black woman is being used as the face of the mules of the Democratic Party.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, and like you said, it got Black Lives Matter down there, and Black Lives Matter started because of a black man, well, a black boy, you know what I'm saying, being murdered, by a white vigilante, Trayvon Martin. So,
and it kind of makes me wonder: is that a little bit of revisionist history? Because we've always been, the Black man and the Black woman has always been side by side in this movement, but that picture it says her story, but it's actually no men in this picture, and I can't remember where it's ever been a situation where no men were on the front lines with our sisters. So yeah, but that she has many pieces. I think she's very talented, but just going back to the Kamala Harris piece, I just don't think that it's really relevant to what's going on in our plight in this country.
It doesn't make sense.
Not at all.
That's basically what it doesn't make sense. I mean, we can celebrate her victory. I mean, not that we should, but if you wanted to, you know what I'm saying? You can celebrate her victory and not and still without basically like shoehorning her into the real Black plight.
When shoehorning her into Adolf's history, we gotta stop. We gotta start letting people hijack our history, our ancestors' struggle for their career gain. Especially when you're not even Adolf's.
Right.
So that's the sister Ashley. I'm definitely gonna get in contact with her. If she wanna hop on with us one day, it can be in private or public, and have a conversation. Talk to us about her paintings and this Kamala Harris painting. We are extending the invitation to you if and when you see this.
Yeah, most definitely. That's the thing about us. We're always open to the conversation.
Yeah. So, did you want to go down? Did you want to start to go down the agenda now?
Yeah, I did.
This little rough agenda we have here.
Yeah, I did. If you could take a look at. Let's play the video that started it all.
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Which makes
let me share my screen.
We take this video so offensive. ADOS stands for the American Descendants of Slavery. So we're pushing for reparations and the Black agenda. So when we saw last year Kamala Harris do this interview, and she said what she said, and she had so much sauce on it, we couldn't help but take that person.
Do you support reparations for Black people? Well, listen, again, we had over 200 years of slavery. We had Jim Crow for almost a century. We had legalized discrimination and segregation, and now we have segregation and discrimination that is not legal but still exists and is a barrier to progress. We have disparities around housing. We have disparities around education. We have disparities around income. And we have to recognize that everybody did not start out on an equal footing in this country. And in particular, Black people have not. And so we have got to recognize that and do something about that and give folks a lift up. That's why, for example, I'm proposing the Lift Act. Give people who are making $100,000 or less as a family a tax credit, which will benefit and uplift 60% of Black families who are in poverty.
So by default, it affects Black families, but there's not a particular policy for African Americans that you use.
But no, if you look at the reality of who will benefit from certain policies, when you take into account that they're not starting at the same place and they're not starting on equal footing, it will directly benefit Black children, Black families, Black homeowners, because the disparities are so significant. So if we focus on the specific issues that have resulted in the greatest disparities, and we understand that that's part of why we're doing it. Listen, the reality also is this: any policy that will benefit Black people will benefit all of society. Let's be clear about that. Let's really be clear about that. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit Black people. No, because whatever benefits that Black family will benefit that
community. She bobbing her head.
In the country, right?
Ooh, let's talk about that real quick.
So she's double talking, right? So you bring up all the disparities and all the disadvantages and the reasons that we are where we are. You bring up the slavery, which your family never experienced. Let's be clear about that. You bring up the Jim Crow, which your family never dealt with that. And then tell us that we're not starting at a level playing field. Absolutely. So if you know that, why would you think that class-based policies would directly impact those specific things that happen to a specific group? That makes absolutely no sense. So, right. So you're saying that, be clear. So, any policy is going to impact the Black family. No, so many specific things was done to us. What it has to be, whatever is done for us, have to be just as specific as the things that was done against us. Period. So, and then she got real. Oh, she said it with her chest. I mean, she bouncing like she from Atlanta. She bouncing like, I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna do something just for Black people. No, girl. Okay, so, but you can tell us exactly what you're gonna do for immigrants, right? So you can tell us what you're gonna do for immigrants specifically, and none of those things directly, positively impact us. So the follow-up question to me should have been, okay, the policies that are specific, such as DACA and anything else immigrant specific, how does those things positively impact us? How does those things say that, if we flood the U.S. with all these HB1 visas, how does that positively help us? That means that we got to compete with these people, because the HB1 visa recipients are typically people from China and India. And those are her people.
Her people. She's looking out for her people.
Absolutely. She's looking out for her people.
The Senate just passed it. They removed the cap from the H1B1s.
And
Kamala already done did something for her Indian people. She ain't did nothing for black people yet.
Right.
And so about it before they even got in.
Right. And but what's crazy to me, what stood out to me the most, the interviewer, to be fair, it's a longer interview. This is part of the interview, but the interviewer asked her a straight up question. She said, "Do you support reparations for Black people?" She skirted all around that. She skirted all around that. I mean, the answer should be simple. That was a yes or no question. You feel
right?
Me?
That's a yes or no answer. with specifics in terms of how and why you support it. Like, so it should have been yes, and then you should have said all those things that you said, right?
Right.
Yes, I support reparations.
So she don't support reparations for ADOS. Let's keep it in. But she in the middle of Southwest Atlanta.
Right. And what trips me out about it is this trick that they always do. They're very good at illustrating the problem, right? They go into the problem, they give a laundry list of everything that's wrong. They can break that down, but then when that solution comes, they just switch up like, nah, I don't know what you're talking about. Or they throw in people of color. And that's why we have to call out this mural, because this mural is really a celebration of people of color, and they trying to merge it into our struggle.
Ooh, that ain't right. That's so wrong.
Absolutely.
What's that rap song? Who said it was Jay-Z? You weren't with me shooting in the gym or something like that? You weren't with us. You weren't with us when we was out on the field. You weren't with us when we was getting convict leasing. You weren't with us when we was getting lynched. You weren't with us after sharecropping.
Absolutely.
And that's why pull up that roof picture, bro. Pull up that roof picture, because first pull up the original, and then pull up the remix, and it's just like, y'all a trip. Y'all are a trip.
All right, I think it's. All right,
you know,
let me show my screen.
So just pull because it's like we have to understand when we're being insulted. Because the way she came at us talking about reparations, no. And then y'all gonna come back and double back with this. It's not right.
Oh, this just pissed me off right here. That's the original with our sister Ruby Bridges. Here, you see the N word in the background, and she's been escorted by marshals into the school. And some artists, well, the name of this Twitter page is the female lead. So
yeah, and that's
some artists decide to. All right, tell me what's wrong with this picture, y'all. I know ADOS know what's wrong with it, but they got Kamala Harris with Ruby Bridges, a shadow in the background. That's just, it don't get no more disrespectful than that to me.
Right. It don't get no more disrespectful than that, man. Now, keep in mind, this is the same lady, and we don't have that video. This is the same lady that laughed on stage talking about how she will lock up, how she locked up Black mothers because their children was cutting school.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's diabolical.
Yeah.
The hypocrisy of that.
Ruby Bridges' grandparents came through Jim Crow. While Kamala Harris, her mother parents is in India, and her father's side was in Jamaica. So how is she walking in the shadow of Ruby Bridges when they weren't even over here?
Right. And let's be clear, Ruby Bridges had to be protected by Black men to go to school. Okay. She had to be protected by Black men to even go to school. Right. While Kamala's mother, who is Brahmin Indian, for those of you all who do not know, Brahmin Indian is the highest caste there is in India.
Yeah,
right?
Let's bring that up real quick. Here's an illustration of the caste. And we got Brahmins at the very top. So they basically the white people of India.
Basically.
Then here go the other caste.
Mm-hmm.
And at the very bottom are the Dalits, which are the outcasts.
That's us.
Yeah.
That's us.
Yeah, the darkest side of them, you know.
Yeah, and that's like this brings up a story. I read Martin Luther King.
Mm-hmm.
He went to India, and he was in his classroom, and the Indian teacher, he was in a Dalits. I hope I'm saying it right. A Dalits outcast classroom, and the teacher introduced Martin Luther King. The teacher said to the students, like, you know, y'all say hello to our fellow outcasts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he said this is an American Dalit.
Yeah.
Right. And MLK was really taken back by it too.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't even think of it in that way. He didn't even understand. He didn't even, as much as he understood the inequalities and what we were fighting for here, and also speaking of what was going on in India, he still didn't connect that until he was introduced as an American outcast or American Dalit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So understand, we have a caste system here that's unspoken, right? Yeah. We are the bottom caste.
That's a great point. Woo! That is so real right there. She actually represents the top caste of Indian society, and she's posing as the bottom caste of American society. But that just shows you who really has the power. Why do we have the power? Because of our lineage.
Yeah. Like you said, and Reggie said it best. Reggie from Boston, he said, we have blood equity. Understand that. And a lot of people understand that, and they try to slither on in because they understand that blood equity means a lot, but we don't use that in the way that we should.
Yeah. We just give, I can't believe we just give our struggle away to anybody just because they got brown skin. That makes absolutely no sense.
Absolutely.
We've been through slavery, Jim Crow, lynching, our business districts burnt down by white supremacists, KKK, and then a person get here in 1960, 1970, 1980, and they in 1990, all of a sudden they the same as us. People who listening, does that make any sense to y'all?
Right. Like, how much sense does that make?
No sense. Yes, yes, some black people from other countries, they have to deal with white supremacist stuff, but that's in their country. That's they over. They chose to move to America. Yes, they went through some like countries like Jamaica and all those Caribbean countries. Had slavery, and ruled by the British, but that don't, that's a whole nother, that's a whole other country. And slavery was different over there. They don't make them the same as us. We got different cultures, different history, we talk different, ain't nothing wrong with that.
And I hope they get their justice claim.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for them. I'll be the first in line. Like, I'll be at the party. If y'all let me in, I ain't got to go to the party. I might watch it, but whatever. I'm rooting for them. I hope they get it. But at the same time, it's a different justice claim, and we got to respect that. That's why we can't let the whole people of color melting pot lie go on, because it's so strong. They feel like no one is entitled to anything over here. We all the same. And how dare you try to elevate yourself over us, even though we just got here yesterday. How dare you elevate yourself over us in the pecking order? But they don't understand our lineage is the reason why we are old. It's a justice claim.
Yeah. Yep. And here we got Shamala. I mean, Shamala. This is Goopland. This is Kamala Harris' mother. She died in 2009. So rest in peace to her. We just want to go quickly. We're not gonna go through all of this, but quickly over her mother's background. It says Shamala was a. Let me see if I can make this bigger. I guess it's bigger. This is Kamala Harris' mother, Shamala, was the daughter of an Indian civil servant, P.V. Gupta, and his wife. Both came from Algerian villages located close to yada yada. Her father, this is Kamala Harris' grandfather, was from I can't pronounce that. Goopland began his life as so Kamala's grandfather was a professional, a stenographer. He rose through the ranks of civil service and see. Yeah, he rose to the ranks of civil service. He moved his family to Mumbai, India. According to the Los Angeles Times, Gopalan was Tamil Brahmin. That's what we talked about earlier, her being a Brahmin caste, the top caste, part of the elite in the Hinduism ancient caste hierarchy. We want to go here to Lucille Bridges, which is Ruby Bridges' mother. She just died. Was it some weeks ago? She recently died. So let's go back here on a little bit of her background. Lucille Commodore Bridges, who in 1960s broke through the segregated education system in the Deep South when she enrolled her 60-year-old daughter Ruby in an all-white elementary school. All right. Let's see here. Lucille Bridges and her daughter brave abuse from white supremacists to walk through the doors of William France Elementary in New Orleans in 1960. Let's see. I want to go to the part about her parents. All right, here we go. Lucille Commodore was born in Tylertown, Mississippi in 1934. Her parents, Curtis and Amy Commodore, were sharecroppers. And stopped attending school after the 8th grade so that she could help them in the fields. So while Ruby Bridges' grandparents were sharecropping, Kamala Harris' grandparents were top caste, part of the privileged caste in India.
So how are we the same?
So how that's not like how are we even remotely the same?
And that's the thing, y'all. As a whole, we got to stop letting it slide. Like, they are so comfortable with disrespecting us. But the thing about it is, we don't even know when we being insulted. But it has to be called out every single time. We got to call it out like, no, that's not going to work.
This is like, right there. what's going on? Like, it's like, say you working on a job for like 30 years, right? I'm talking about putting up with the white man mess for 30 years. Then all of a sudden, maybe a black person from like Africa, or Jamaica, they come and they just promote them. They just promote them straight up to manager. You're like, dang. He was like, and they say, hey, you're all black. You feel me? Why does it matter? You're all black.
Exactly.
So we as ADOS, we go through the struggle. We shed the blood, sweat, and tears, and then other people of color come over here and reap the benefits.
John Doe asks, has anyone located the artist? Larry, you want to speak to that? You reached out to the artist, correct?
Yeah, I have to. Yeah, she blocked me on social media, so I'll have to reach out to her another way. If you so yeah, we reached out to her. She on her website, she has a thing where you can send her an email. So yeah, hopefully we should respond, or maybe maybe Ray or Shmi. We all three of us send her an email or something through her website and see if we can have a conversation.
Yeah, because if we explain why this is offensive and you still don't realize it, then we have other issues that we need to discuss. Because it's a reason you don't want to deal with sheer logic.
Yeah, man, I don't know what's going on. It's like we've been through so much, you know what I'm saying? We so desperate to have somebody make it that we just claim anybody with just because they got a little color in their skin. No, damage been done to a specific group. That group, ADOS. ADOS is on the bottom. America must repair us. They can't be replacing us with other black people from elsewhere and other people of color from elsewhere. We are the group that needs repair. We are the group that the United States damaged, and they got to repair us. Don't fall for the fall. People start falling for the okie doke, man.
Mm-hmm.
Institutions like colleges, they are disproportionately admitting like African students and putting them on the African American, Black/African American. Come on, man.
And that's the problem with African American, because for immigrants who are from African countries, they can say that they are African American, when in fact, in the way that the term or that label has been used, it would be correct, which means that we need to redefine and accept our true identity, which is that we are American. We are American first. Mm-hmm. And we descend from chattel slavery right here. So we don't need to African is that connection was severed when we were sold. You don't hold on to something that you sold. You don't hold on to an identity or something or an object that you sold. You let that part go. And now, truthfully, we are just a new tribe, and we just need to move on from there. And that Facebook user that mentioned people don't realize the shift that occurred when Black doesn't mean the same thing it did 30 or 40 years ago. That is the absolute truth. When during the civil rights movement, Black, we were prior to 1965, it was just us and white people primarily. It was some Hispanic, but of course they were white too back then, right? So it was really just us and white people. But once after the civil rights movement, the Civil Rights Acts passed, there was an influx, and it changed the demographics. And so we need to now understand the shift and the difference.
Yeah, I want to talk about that real quick. I want to talk about that African American term. People playing games. That term was originally made popular in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
It was for us, ADOS, American Descendants of Slavery. The reason we say African American because we don't know what country we come from in Africa. That's why we say African American. So now people want everybody know if you've been around somebody, a black person from another country, they don't go by African American. They technically get offended. They go by their country. They go by Jamaican American, Nigerian American, Caribbean American, and then some people got the nerve to say, "Oh, what if they white? They white and they come from Africa? They technically African American." Nah, if they white and they say they come from South Africa, they're not African. They may be South African American, but they ain't African. They ain't African American. So I want people to know that African American.
But Larry, I'm sorry. There is one time where they do call themselves. Oh,
Call themselves
I'm sorry.
what?
I mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
There is one time where they don't mind calling themselves African American, and that's when they're getting some of our benefits. Mm-hmm. When they want to take advantage of our designation, that's when they don't mind being called Black or African American.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, but you talk, Billy. But when you talking to them, you probably know within 5 minutes that they'll let you know I am Caribbean, I am Nigerian. So,
which is perfectly fine. That's what I said from the beginning. We're okay with that. We're okay with it. We're okay, but just don't mention the division being divisive when we say we're American descendants of slavery. And I really, resonate with that term because there's no way we were the only people that were American that descend from chattel slavery right here, right? We're the only ones that apply to. So I think that's why a lot of people have an issue with it. And they try to make it seem like the issue with the term is more about the fact that we are saying we're proud of coming from slavery. No, what we're saying is we're not even supposed to be here, right? Mm-hmm. We descend from slavery. Our ancestors were so strong, they came through the worst that anybody could ever imagine. And they have people, us, that are still alive, that descend from those disparities and the worst thing that you could ever imagine happening to a human being. So I know my people were strong. That's why I know I'm built for this ADOS fight.
Yeah. You built for it. You built for it.
Exactly. So let's go into Kamala Harris' father, Donna Harris. Like, we talk a lot about her mother and her mother's side, India. Let's go to her side that will supposedly make her Black. So her father wrote this earlier this year. So I'm not gonna go through the whole thing. I'm just gonna go through just a small bit of it here. So Donald Harris and Kamala Harris' mother, they divorced. They separated when she was 5 and divorced when she was 7. So like Kamala, she didn't grow up. She didn't grow up in Jamaica. She don't really know her Jamaican family. Like right here, her father talks about how he regrets Kamala not getting to know, getting to know her Jamaican grandparents. So let's go here. Her father says, my roots go back within my lifetime to my paternal grandmother, Miss Christina Brown, descendant of Hamilton Brown, who is on record as a planned as plantation and slave owner and founder of Brownstown. And my maternal grandmother, Miss Iris Finnegan, farmer and educator of Enuntown. Ancestry is unknown. All right. The Harris name comes from my paternal grandfather, Joseph Alexander Harris, landowner and agricultural produce exporter, who died in 1939, 1 year after I was born, in the churchyard of the magnificent Anglican Church, which Hamilton Brown built in Brownstown. So Hamilton Brown, the plantation and slave owner, he built this church. All right, so let's keep going. All right, he says here how both his grandmothers is his strongest influence and his early upbringing. All right, here go Miss. This is a picture of Miss Christie right here. He talks about it. Miss Christie was a disciplinarian, reserved, a stern look, firm with the strap, but capable of the most endearing genius act of love, affection, and care. This is a picture of her. She sparked my interest in economics simply by observing and listening to her daily routine. All right, this is the part right here that got. All right, she owned and operated a dry goods store. All right, this is the part that got me right here. Business was front and center for her, a profession and family tradition she embodied and carried the purpose, commitment, pride, and dignity. She never paid much attention to the business of the farm at Orange Hill. Her sons cared on that side of the family. Her constant focus was issues that affected her business by buying and selling imported dry goods, as well as cost of living issues that require understanding. Hold on, knew a fully charged. Hold on just a second. Every day at school, I would go to her shop and drive to Orange Hill, where she was rude. She sometimes, of course, was a diet, great leader. Hold on, where is it? Eastern Christmas. Hold on, let me find this part right here. Hold on, where did that part go? Leading to a everyday school, I would go to her, wait and dry orange, close her, and she left her home and grew. I engaged with family, sometimes conversation. Her sons took care of her business, constant focus on affecting her living, required task and pursue gusto with fully charged domestic affairs. Her daily politics was boosted for the reason that little did I know when she learned later to study economics and grandma's spiral theory. Her goodies and boxes. Where is the part that left me 14 when I was deep, son? Hold on, there was an interesting part. Let me find it. When he talks about the church. Both strongest upbringing. Where's the part when he talks about the church? All right, every day. Tradition, her songs too. Where is the part when he talks about the church? Little story I learned in studies of economics, grandma espousing independently. Her family side of Eastern, little boxes, 1909. Wow. All right, I think this is it right here. Approaching the world in time. While jointly owned husband, Mr. Christie, always going to church on Sunday and preach the revelations I saw. I spent I should have did this some other way. So in his article somewhere, he mentions his grandmother, Miss Christie, how she talks about economics and Christianity and going to church. And Christian is all right, here we go. The Harris name comes from my paternal grandfather, Joseph, died in the church around time, were baptized. Both my grandparents influenced. That's not it. All right, here we go. Business was front and center for her, a profession and a family tradition that she embodied and carried with purpose, commitment, pride, and dignity. Next to her devotion to the church that she often said her ancestor built. So, do y'all get what I'm getting at here? Mr. What's his name? Mr. Brown. What's his name? Hamilton Brown. Hamilton Brown built this church. Hamilton Brown is on record as being a plantation slave owner and founder of Brownstown. He built that church. And down here, Miss Idris says that she did embody and carry the purpose, commitment, pride, and dignity next to the devotion to the church that, as she often said, her ancestor built. So she kind of, to me, it sounds like she is proud of the church that Mr. Brown, or I shouldn't call him Mr. being a slave over, but Hamilton Brown, it sounds like she's proud of that church that he built. She don't have any shame. You know, they know exactly who he is. They don't have any shame. They don't talk about him like he was just a bad person. Next to her devotion to that church, she often said her ancestor built. To me, she don't sound really. To me, they don't come out as the person that dislikes Hamilton Brown or has any shame of him. What do y'all think?
It almost
in my opinion,
endearing.
okay,
My bad. It almost sounded a little endearing, like they was, he wasn't that kind of a guy.
Yeah, the way it's written is not like, Go ahead, Shamika.
Right. So again, so you remember when Mitch McConnell made the statement about he and Obama basically having a lot more in common because they descend from slave owners, right? This is the same with her, right? She descend from people that own slaves. It's the exact same thing.
But I think the difference here, though, like in the United States with us, most of the we don't know who our white ancestors are, and we damn so don't talk about them and talk about the businesses they own and the churches they built as if we benefited from it. You know what I'm saying? So I wonder if slavery in Jamaica, was different than the slavery in the United States. You know what I'm saying? Her father is very. This is the other grandmother, Miss Idris. Her father is very light skinned. This is the older picture of him. So, and he attended University of California, Berkeley, where he met Kamala Harris' mother. And I'm wondering if if he benefited from his white ancestors that allow him to, that allow him to be able to study and go over to California and be a economics professor and things like that. What y'all think?
Yeah, of course, a lot of times they benefit from their whiteness, but their white side. But you also have to understand that just because he was in Jamaica doesn't mean that he was actually like black. Because
Yeah,
honestly,
yeah.
he looks like he is really more. He looks like Kamal, like he could be Indian. You know what I mean? They don't
Yep.
really, he looked like, especially as he aged, he looked more Indian than someone that descend from the continent of Africa. But that's the side that's supposed to make her black.
Right.
And that's just not, it doesn't necessarily make that be the case because even his blackness is different from ours.
It is.
Well, his blackness is in Jamaica. Will her father even be considered black in Jamaica? Because
Right.
I heard in Jamaica they don't. I heard black. They have a black and they have a black and a brown group, which is the light skin group. And I heard how light skin privilege is in Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? Over the dark skinned Jamaicans.
Just like Brazil.
Yeah. So I'm thinking her father being a light skinned Jamaican just benefited, benefited from being light skinned. You know what I'm saying?
But even aside from even just the light skinness, man, they had some bread.
Yeah.
So that alone, that status, we having a whole different conversation. And she didn't even rock with that side like that, but that's her lineage, that's her bloodline. She don't, at the end of the day, she don't know nothing about our experience. And the only experience she got was when she went to Howard and when she pledged. But that she already knew what she was doing. She was setting up the play for her future. So she's been trying to graft for a very long time.
Yeah. She was too dark to pass for. Some Indians they're so light they can pass for white. I guess she was a little too dark for that, so she had to, try to pretend like she was one of us.
Yeah.
Well, if that's the case, so have you all seen the picture of the white girl that has been? She goes to the only HBCU in Oklahoma, right? And she is now. And wait a minute, get this, just like Kamala, right? White chick went to HBCU. She pledged, not as the AKA, but as a Delta. Still supposed to be a black sorority, right? And she's also in the NAACP. So, I mean, to me, that white chick ain't no different from Kamala.
Yeah,
it's no different to me.
Like if we want to, if people want to support Kamala for being a first female VP, first female VP, fine. Is she the first VP of color? That don't make no sense, but she's not an African American ADOS VP,
Right.
Right here is the median household income in the United States. This has it broken up by ethnic group. This is for the year. This is just for a couple years from 2013 to 2015 from the U.S. Census Bureau. But you see the Indian Americans at the very top. And look who at the bottom, African Americans. So that's another example how we are, Kamala, we just are not the same, man. We are not the same. She comes from up here. She's a Brahmin Indian. She grew up Indian. She grew up going to India, influenced by her Indian side. It's kind of like a biracial person being raised by their white side. You know what I'm saying? And you can see they're doing a lot better than ADOS here is at the very bottom. But yet they got her posted up, painted in the middle of ADOS neighborhood.
And that's why the mural is, and how we conduct politics is so wrong. And really it's deceptive, man. We dealing with straight up deceit, man. And it's not cool. It's not cool. It's because it's not like our so-called leadership doesn't know this. They know this and they still. So I can't really appreciate that, man.
Yeah. So let's go through her record. Maybe she ain't ADO, but maybe she fought for black people though. Maybe she was just one of them non-black people that just down fighting for black people, man. She gotta have some kind of history of fighting for black people, right?
You right, man. You right. Let's give it the benefit of the doubt and see, man. Let's check out what we got, man. We could be just jumping to conclusions, so let's see.
Let's see what all right, let's go through her record as a prosecutor. Oh man, hold on. Still a little sick. Harris made history, yada yada. All right, as California Attorney General from 2011 to 2017. It says Kamala Harris refused to endorse a 2015 bill calling for a special prosecutor to investigate a deadly shooting that happened in Sacramento. She rejected calls from civil rights groups to investigate deadly police shooting in Los Angeles and in San Francisco following 2014 killing that involved Michael Brown in Ferguson. In 2015, she did require cameras for California Department of Justice agents. She did, try to get body cameras, but didn't support legislation mandating them for all police. And she was, all right, it says here, the senator history of the San Francisco District Attorney from 2004 to 2011 was scrutinized. She declined to pursue the death penalty for a gang member murdered in San Francisco. She also began prosecuting parents of habitually truant students, calling the issue students skipping school tantamount to a crime. Even admit criticism that the police disproportionately target low-income people of color. Says she sent letters to public schools each year threatening them citations for truancy and sponsored a 2010 law that make it misdemeanor for parents whose children miss 10% of the school year without. I mean, what's 10% of the school year? About how many days y'all think that is?
I think the school year is like 100 is it 180 days?
So that's
something like that.
So what's that? Is that less than 10 days? Let me see.
But the thing is, I mean, Tone did a really good interview
Yeah.
with Sheree, and she's the lady. For those of you all who have not seen it, and hopefully we can leave that video in the description so that you all can see how basically the truancy law, it didn't go exactly as it was quote unquote planned. So Sheree had a daughter, just to give a background of it. Sheree had a daughter who had sickle cell anemia. She had a really severe case of it. And all of her information is documented in terms of her health and everything like that and what's required of her. But she was still arrested. She was still arrested, and it was an Animal House. They actually sent like the police, they sent the news crew, I mean, to this lady's house after she had just had a baby and arrested this mother that clearly had everything documented about her child's illness. So even the people that were arrested may have been arrested not even under the terms of what the truancy law was supposed to be.
Yeah. And yeah, hear me?
Mm-hmm.
I hear in the background again for some reason.
I hear you.
Okay. Yeah, man. And didn't he say they had cameras all at her house, using her basically using her for like a photo op, using her like as an example. This is what's gonna happen to you if your kid misses so many days of school. And it's, like you said, Shamika, it's sad because her daughter, had a disability. Here's the interview. When we post it up later, we're gonna edit and post it up later. We
want to leave that in the description because a lot of people need to really see that to understand her history in the role that she was in prior to even being senator. So it's like there are people that felt like, oh, Kamala was just doing her job. No, it was malicious. Like it was, and it was supposed to be about stopping kids from these kids that could potentially become gang members and stuff like that. But this child had sickle cell, and in the interview, Sheree even mentioned like how many days of school this child would miss because she seriously have a disability. And they still arrested her, knowing like how is her kid who has sickle cell anemia at risk of joining a gang? And then how does separating the kids from their parents, how does that help the kids? It doesn't. So you're not trying, your truancy law, exactly how is it supposed to help the community? How was it supposed to change, you know what I'm saying, how the kids thought about going to school? And you're arresting the parents, which, a lot of times if they're adults, typically is a single mother. So and the dad is kind of, is not even really included in this, I guess, this punishment. So the only parent that they have, she's arresting. Like, how does that help?
Yeah, she did it for her career. She's doing it. She going out of this playbook. In order to advance your career, you gotta be hard on Black people and poor people. How does a person like that get to be her picture mural up in the middle of African American neighborhood when she would have locked so many of these kids up around in Southwest Atlanta? You know what I'm saying? For so many, and they parents for truancy. Here's another.
That's what make the mural so offensive, man.
Yeah.
That's what make the mural so offensive, bro.
Kamala Harris, as AG office tried to keep inmates locked up for cheap labor in order to reduce the population in California's overcrowded prison. Lawyers from the California Attorney General Kamala Harris office made the case that some non-violent offenders needed to stay incarcerated or else the prison system would lose a source of cheap labor.
Child. Do you know what you just read, Larry? You know what that is, baby? That's convict leasing.
Yeah.
That's convict leasing.
Shamika.
Huh?
Shamika. You're right. That's convict leasing, man.
Yeah.
So for those of you all who don't know, convict leasing was a system of forced labor which was historically practiced in the South United States, and overwhelmingly it targeted us Black men who were recently freed from slavery. So basically what they would do is, right, so they freed them from slavery, but then they put the Black Code laws in place. And what those Black Code laws said is that you can get locked up for everything. You can get locked up for not having a job, which we didn't, because the only job we had was what? Slavery. So you locked us up. You basically leased us to the same plantations that we came from, right? And because they did not own the slaves anymore, they did not have a reason to even treat them halfway decent, because they weren't an asset to them anymore, right? This is like a rental car. Hey, you know, people dog rental cars out and send them back. You know what I mean? So basically, they would dog these Black men out, they would work them to death, right? And send them. Sometimes they'll send them back, or sometimes they just they just die. You know, so you know, the fact that she was willing to keep people in prison for non-violent offenses for cheap labor, that's convict leasing all over again. And for anybody that don't understand that, you really need to go and do a little more reading about convict leasing, because I kind of learned, just from trying to track my lineage back to slavery. I was able to track a lot of women back, but from speaking to my oldest aunt, she was like, she's telling me about all the great aunt, grandmama this and great aunt that, and she's talking about all these women, and even she had to stop and say, "Where were the men?" I said, "Auntie, they were convict leased."
Yeah.
So, just to kind of draw that line back to slavery, this is really convict leasing.
Yeah. Exactly what it is.
That's all it is. It's disturbing. At the end of the day, we just don't know. We not only do we not know our history fully, but we don't know these people, and we don't understand politics, and we don't understand why this is offensive. And people think that they can just throw her up just because they think that she's just Black. She Black, but it's a difference.
Well, I think the problem is that we come up in a country. We from a country where we the minority, so we think Black is Black. So when you come from countries that where the majority of the population is Black, then they can get to be more nuanced into differences between Black people. And then we just haven't in the United States, ADOS, we just haven't got around to the place where we gotta start recognizing nuance between Black people. Not all Black people are the same. Just like all Asians ain't the same, all white people ain't the same, all Black people ain't the same. We got different histories, different experiences, different backgrounds. If I go to Kenya, I ain't got nothing in common with no Kenyan. I know if I go to I go to Jamaica, I ain't got nothing in common with no Jamaican. You know what I'm saying? So it's just And that's just what it is. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, we just now that the country's getting more diverse, we gotta stop being more nuanced and just black, you black, all right, you me. No, that's not how it
We
works.
gotta be unapologetic about it when we dealing in these public spaces. Somebody said when Asians want something, they ain't got no problem saying what they need. LGBT community, they let it be known. DACA, Hispanic community, immigrant community, they let it be known. But we tiptoe and we feel it. That's why we got to keep these so-called representatives and organizers, anybody we come into contact to, as we advocate for ADOS, we got to call them out every time they use people of color, every time they use minority. We can't let it slide, and we just got to call it out whenever we hear it.
That's got to stop. That's killing us.
Absolutely.
What you got right there, Larry? What's that?
Kamala Harris fails to explain why she didn't prosecute Steve Mnuchin. What it says here. Former California Kamala Harris vaguely acknowledged the Intercept's report about her declining to prosecute Steve Mnuchin, One West Bank, for foreclosure. They said they found One West Bank. Steve Mnuchin was the CEO of One West Bank. They found that the bank, I believe, that the bank had over 1,000 violations, foreclosure violations, and basically, Kamala Harris' office is investigated, but they didn't find anything and didn't charge anybody. It was a decision my office made, she said in response to the question. We went and we followed the facts and evidence, and it's a decision my office made, Harris said. We pursued it just like any other case. We go and we take case wherever the facts takes us. So,
Larry.
To
me, that's no different from Barack Obama not prosecuting the banks for the crash that happened in 2009.
Yeah.
You know, you conveniently, didn't prosecute the banks. That's what she did. They do it. It's the exact same thing. Like, it's like they're twins.
Well, like I said earlier, what they do is they build a career by coming down hard on black people and poor people, and then they let the powerful white man slide. You know what I'm saying? And somehow she's she got a mirror in our neighborhood.
Right. And for those who vote blue, no matter who, just understand that we just elected, not we, because ADOS voted down ballot, right? Down ballot meaning we did not, we left the top of the ticket, which is the presidential election. We left that blank.
Right.
And we voted down ballot for senators, state representatives, all of those, things of that nature, referendums and everything like that. But overwhelmingly, like for the most part, ADOS, we voted for Kamala and Joe Biden. Joe Biden still didn't see anything wrong with the 1994 crime bill, right? And Kamala enforced what he put in place. And understand that although the crime bill was at the federal level, they incentivized the states to basically adopt the federal level laws. And that's what they did. They incentivized them, said, we're going to give you all more cops. We're going to build more prisons. We're going to do all of those things. And Kamala, you know, she enforced what Joe Biden, even from 1994, whatever came down the pipeline, she enforced it. So understand that we've as a whole, we've elected these people. And please don't be surprised if we get a new crime bill. I'm seeing it's like it's in the making. We seeing all kind of stuff that I wouldn't be surprised if we see another crime bill. So they're not just doing their job. I mean, they're not trying to address the root cause, which, you know, like Ray say all the time, and even Larry, like this, a lot of these crimes are poverty crimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I want to read this.
Reparations.
Oh, my bad, Shamika.
Yeah, this just leads us back to reparations. Let's fix the root cause issue, and everything else will fall in place.
Yeah. So interesting area, all that stuff. All that Kamala, all that stuff, wagging it, talking about Donald Trump. Kamala Harris did. So Steve Mnuchin was Donald Trump's nominee to run the Treasury Department.
Mm-hmm.
So she just let somebody that Donald Trump favor off.
Right.
California's Attorney General office said they have found over 1,000 violations. So you found over 1,000 violations of foreclosure laws by his bank during that time, but you couldn't prosecute nobody. They said the memo was called Widespread Misconduct. Closed after Harris' office declined to file a civil enforcement action against the bank. Wow. And this
we so uninformed, man, because it's like, I mean, but this the same lady who got on the debate stage with Joe Biden and ripped him for busing, you know,
yeah.
and damn near accused him of sexual assault, you know, basically saying, I stand with the women that that you've messed with, but you turn around and you're now his running mate. You say all this stuff about Trump when in the past you let his boy off the hook. So
right.
these people are playing a game on a whole nother level.
They doing whatever it takes. They doing this called careerism. Whatever it takes to get them ahead in their career, they're gonna do. They gonna lie, cheat, steal. The only thing they care about is their career.
Right. And they're really they're forcing Kamala down our throat. Like she never ran any higher than third. Her own state didn't even really fool with her like that. Right? They didn't even fool with her like that. But now, you know, just because we had to get Trump out, they knew what they were doing. They just to get Trump out. Okay, we got to get him out. We gonna make her his running mate, and she was supposed to pull in more black voters. When in fact, the black people that voted for the first time, it wasn't even about you, Kamala. It was really about getting Trump out of office. So again, more people, they're more excited about Trump losing than Biden winning. They're not. A lot of people are not excited about Kamala being the vice president, because the truth is, most vice presidents don't do anything but go to funerals. You know what I mean? A lot of people are just hoping that and those who have drank the Kool-Aid about Kamala, those are the cray-crays that are hoping that Biden gone to the boneyard, he just gone and die so she can be president. And that's the craziest thing. Like, in her history, we just went through a lot of her career. Like, what have she done in her career that says this is somebody we should celebrate?
Exactly.
But when your whole concept of politics is symbolism, you consider that a win just because she's a black woman. You consider that a win, or just it's a lot of. Not just saying that. A lot of black men voted for her just because they follow the Democratic Party line saying, this is our person. This is a black person or people of color, if that's all, what did James Clyburn say? He was on Stephanopoulos' show. They asked, what do you want? Well, I don't really want nothing. I got my biscuits. So you got a lot of folks that think of politics as, okay, this is good because she's going to get a lot of people hired. She's going to get some black women to be able to be hired. She's going to get black folks in better positions. So people, it's a type of, I don't know what Kim said earlier, but she said something about individualism politics or something like that. Mm-hmm. So that's what we're dealing with. A lot of people talking win.
If you want to be an individual, be a scientist, a doctor, or I don't know, be like But when you get in politics, you messing with millions of people's lives, man.
Exactly.
Right.
If you want to be an individual, you want to be a successful individual, go choose another career where if you do something wrong, it affect only you. You know what I'm saying?
You absolutely right, man. Like we have an issue in ADOS, and we call them careerists. If you're just in this space, just because it's a job, just because it's a career, you're in the wrong place, and it's got to be called out. And what's a careerist? It's somebody that has no integrity, and they go wherever the wind blows.
Mm-hmm.
Just for their career, yeah.
How can you let Mnuchin off the hook and still have a problem with Trump? How can you say this about Joe Biden and still goes his running mate? If she had any integrity, she'd be like, I'm sorry, I can't be your running mate. Mm-hmm. I can't even be your running mate if she had integrity, but they don't think like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And this last year, while we were talking about her record, this one right here should get her. This story right here should get her mural taken down. Like after this story, this story right here should have her mural removed ASAP. This is Matrice Richardson. ADOS know this story. If you ain't been around ADOS that long, you might not know about this story a little bit. But Yvette Carnell and Antonio, well, I know Yvette Carnell covered it a long time ago, a while back. So this is about a young black woman in I believe in Southern California. She was at a restaurant and she was having like a mental episode, and she didn't pay a tab. So I believe she walked out, and they or tried to walk out on the tab, and they called the police on her, and they end up taking her to jail. She got. Let me go ahead and go through this real quick. Hold on, let me back up. All right, it says there, September 2009, Matrice Richardson was suffering a mental health crisis at Jeffrey's restaurant in Malibu. Like I said, they called the police on her because she didn't pay her tab. It said while the Welfare Institution Code 5150 required that Matrice Richardson be evaluated by a mental health professional, the arresting officer decided to take her to jail instead. For reasons unknown, she was never provided a psychiatric evaluation for her unusual behaviors, and the restaurant instead was usual behavior at the restaurant, but instead released from the Malibu's Lost Hills Sheriff Station in the dead of night with no money, no cars, no means. All right. Then it says here, partially 11 months later, they find her body mummified, naked, skeletal remains discovered.
How long, bro? How long after?
Well, let me go back real quick. Explain for everybody. So instead of giving her a mental health evaluation because she was acting, she was having an episode acting, unusual at the restaurant, they take her to jail. It's nighttime when they take her to jail. They said the jail about 25 minutes away from the restaurant. So her mother called to see how her daughter was doing. They told her mother, the mother was saying, if y'all gonna release her tonight, I'll come get her tonight. But they said that basically said they was gonna keep her to the morning time, and the mother said, okay, I'll just come get her in the morning time. The mother called the police station at 5:30 in the morning, and the police that was there said she was gone. Found out they let her go basically in the middle of nowhere, with like no phone, no nothing, in the middle of the night, in the middle of nowhere, and around after midnight, walking. And 11 months later, they found her body. Hold on, let me see here. This here has more detail. All right, hold on. Let me see what the sheriff said here. Getting her. Hold on, the sheriff said something crazy. All right, here we go. The deputy was on the phone with Latrice. Latrice is Matrice's mama. The deputy on the phone with Latrice said Matrice would be safe at the station. I think the only way I would come to get her tonight is if you guys were going to release her tonight, Latrice said. She's not from that area. And I would hate to wake up in the morning to a report, girl lost somewhere with her head chopped off. So that's what the sheriff said.
The sheriff said that?
Yeah, that's what the sheriff said. They said it right here. He would hate to have to wake up in the morning to a morning report somewhere with her head chopped off. So I'm thinking, all right. So let's get in where Kamala Harris come in with this. Her office, she was Attorney General. Her office was, assigned to investigate it. After months, it says, no, my bad, not that it wasn't even that long. It took 6 weeks to investigate potential evidence contained more than 500 pages of documents led me to conclude that the investigation was disingenuous and that Harris' relationship former Jeff McConnell formulated her decision. So when Kamala Harris' office came back, they said they didn't find anything that the LA County Sheriff did wrong. So,
but the most deceiving thing though is that at that time when she was in that position, she kind of kicked it like she wanted to get to the bottom of it. But when she was running,
to get to that,
yeah,
they investigated it twice. The first time they came back and said they couldn't find anything, but then she was running for the U.S. Senate, right? She was getting backlash. People, the people of the LA, LA County, of that area, was mad at Kamala because Kamala in her office because they didn't find nothing. So she was getting backlash from the people, but she had a race coming up for the Senate. So in order to kind of quiet down that backlash, she said she gonna invest. They gonna investigate the case again. You feel me? So they pick up the case for the second time. Investigate it. They basically basically waited till after she won. She actually won the Senate race while they was in the middle of investigating this case. Then after she won, she dropped the case and said they didn't find anything once again.
Oh man. Tragic.
So it's sad because even if they didn't find anything, she used Matrice Richardson death for her own personal benefit. She was getting backlash. She was getting backlash for constituents because they didn't find, they was already pissed off at her. They was pissed off at her because they didn't find nothing that the sheriff's office did wrong. She said she might not get elected, if she got that bad rep. So in order to kind of quiet that down, she picked the case back up to kind of give people false hope. During the race, she ended up winning. Then after she wins, she dropped it and said she ain't find nothing. They ain't find nothing again.
So she basically used Matrice Richardson to further her political career.
Yes.
Just like
the same way she used Sheree.
Yeah. She used Ruth. The image of Ruth was used. So this is a pattern, but she basically exemplifies what the Democratic Party does with us. They use our trauma and our pain as a stepping stool. We the battery in the Democratic Party's back, man. So we as ADOS, like, we know this. How do we get the masses of our people, especially in the political space? This shouldn't be a hard sell to people that's in the political space. How do we get them to realize that we being played, y'all?
Real quick before we get to that, Sheriff Jim McConnell may have impacted her decision. I clicked on his link real quick here. Attorney General endorses Long Beach Jim McConnell. So Kamala Harris endorsed Jim McConnell. She endorsed that sheriff that was over that police department that did Matrice Richardson like that. So she basically protected a person she endorsed also.
So what does that mean about, we talk about political education, and political IQ. What does that mean for her to be able to use black girl magic and the black woman, her being, they making her have y'all seen that picture of Kamala Harris, Michelle Obama, Harriet Tubman, Coretta Scott King in the same car driving down the street? Y'all seen
wait a minute, and Rosa Parks, and it was Rosa Parks and all of them. Somebody posted it on social media, and one of the pages that I'm in, and I had an Easter speech typed up to basically tell them, baby, Kamala shouldn't be in the car.
Right.
She shouldn't be in the car because she's not us. And the truth is that everybody else that Ray just mentioned, all of those sisters was riding specifically for us. You just saw the video when she said, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do anything just for black people. No.
How black people letting these artists, whoever make these pictures, why are we letting them get away with that? They should not feel comfortable doing something like that.
Yeah. But I think Ray already answered that though. I mean, it's like we're so politically immature that
Yeah.
we can't see when we are being duped. And it's like, I think by the time we as a whole collectively ADOS, we're unicorns because we see the writing on the wall. Like my grandmama say, hey, you write between the lines, shout it, we'll read between the lines. We already see, you know what I'm saying? We already see what's going on. But for those who don't, it's kind of like a lot of things have to just really, really hit the fan. It has to get bad to the point of no return for them to even realize what have just happened right in front of them.
Man,
I'm gonna tell you what it reminded me of too. Kind of, it's a different scenario, but I got some folks. I got some Facebook friends. I got one in particular. I tried to get her to chop it up with us, but she ain't did it yet. She actually dodging me. She ducking. She dodging. She went for Paul Howard. Why did she go for Paul Howard? Because she don't like Fonny's record.
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about. I do want to have a discussion with that sister.
Yeah. She got a problem with Fonny's record. But she's pro Kamala Harris though. So how can you pro Kamala Harris but against Fonny? It's very hypocritical. It don't make no sense.
Right. That make absolutely no sense. I didn't know she was for Kamala Harris. Wow.
She for Kamala Harris, man.
That's crazy.
So,
well, I think that just like, you know, people who say, well, I didn't vote for Joe Biden, I voted for Kamala, right? Listen, Kamala is going to go to funerals, right? She's going to go to funerals. She's not the president. So in essence, you just gave your vote to Joe Biden because of someone who symbolized progress. And it's really not. You know, and that just kind of take us to the next point about, you know, should we celebrate the Black politicians just because they got the job, right?
mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's talk about that. That's the question. Should we celebrate Black politicians just because they got the job? What's up?
I mean, I looked up a few articles, but one that kind of stood out to me was there was one in the Atlantic, and the article is titled "The False Promise of Black Political Representation." So basically, you know, they're talking about the record numbers of African Americans that hold elective office, but the policy preference of Black voters remain unlikely to be enacted. You know, so in the beginning of the article, they talk about what happened in Ferguson and everything like that. And they move on and they ask the question, you know, why all the turmoil? If we got all this black representation, you know, we got 45 members of the Congress. We have all these things, right? That's supposed to mean that there's progress. But the question still remains, why all the turmoil? Then if at a time when Blacks finally seem to be enjoying the fruits of the American democracy, right? And they go on to say that one answer is that that the appearance of Black political clout is deceiving. And it is.
Yeah.
It's deceiving. And they say that despite their gains in participation and representation, blacks continue to fare worse than whites in converting their policy preference into law. You know, the poor performance and more revealing than statistics on turnouts or Black electoral success. And even though it causes remains mysterious, is very much rationale for frustration with the status quo. So it's like we have all these Black politicians, right? But the status quo is still being upheld.
Right.
And that brings me to Kamala. Again, that brings me back to Kamala. It's the status quo. And I had one this same Facebook page that I follow. They basically, you know, I mentioned that she's already said she's not going to do anything for Black people, right? And she posted this article that's supposed to have basically proven that Kamala is going to go against the grain. And in this article, everything that right, so everything in this article basically says that I'm going to just go against Donald Trump. That's my first thing. And second thing, I'm going to uphold the status quo. We don't need the status quo to be upheld. We need transformative policy and change. We don't need that.
The status quo is bad for us. That means ADOS on the bottom. That's the status quo.
That's the status quo.
And that's a perfect segue to that image you got up there right there. Who's the face? Obama is the face of black status quo, and he even so bold as saying basically we need to keep the status quo. We don't need to do anything to progress. So
yeah, like how is that supposed to, like, nothing, everything every major game politically ADOS got, it had to be transformative. You had a damn Civil War, you know what I'm saying? People, civil rights. Like, we need transformation. We don't need no. I don't want to piss too many white people off. You don't get things and Joe Biden like to say, get things done. Get things done to me. That mean don't get nothing done for black people. That's what get things done. That mean you gonna try to work with Republicans, which equals nothing for black people.
I mean, he's a low-key Republican. But then, you know what? A lot of people realize, low-key, and Barack was too. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, Tone laid it out. Really. Yeah, but Tone laid it out, though. Tone laid it out when he was talking about how the gig worked. Like, all that stuff right there, it really puts black people back just as being servant. We can't be slaves per se, but we just turn right back into being servants. It puts it all in perspective, like, really.
So I used to say, when I was younger, I used to think black people wanted black politicians because they thought when they get in office, they were gonna do something for black people. That's what I thought. To my surprise, that's not the case.
Not the case. It's a lot of us like we the unicorns. It's a lot of us think that all we got to do is check blue. That's even worse. But some of them think all we got to do is check black and blue. Oh, they black and they blue. That's all the boxes that need to be checked. Now, don't let them be black and red. Right. Stan King, she ain't gonna get no love. But black and blue, that's all we need. But we seeing now that that's not the case.
Yeah, I was shocked. Like, if you can't do nothing for black people, then why are you in office? Because we on the bottom. We the most afflicted. So if you can't do nothing,
brothers. Did you see the ADOS brother in Indiana? Oh, baby. This was probably about 4 months ago. The guy in Indiana, it was a panel of it was at a church, but it was some local black politicians. And the brother laid it out just right. He was like, we understand that there are other constituents in your district that need to be serviced as well. But if you're not gonna do anything for black people, then why do we need you? It's no different. It's no different than any other ethnicity group representing these black constituents. If you're not going to do anything specific and you're not going to stand on your square and make sure we get what we need. And do you know that politician? He said something to the effect that doing things specifically for black people is taboo. I hit the floor.
Wow.
And I can see that being the case, that it's really still taboo to do things specifically for black people when in fact it is. And how can being specific to black people be taboo when we've taken on so many issues that would have been considered taboo in the past, like LGBTQ rights, right? That's definitely taboo, right? Especially from a religious perspective, even in politics, in every perspective. In your family, that's a taboo, you know what I'm saying, statement. It's a trendy topic, right? But you go on to immigration, you know, that's a real, you know, that's taboo. Like people who are not citizens having certain rights, addressing that can be taboo, but they somehow found a way to do that. But we
this
have
is how they spin it. This is how they spin it, Shamika. They say there's not enough of public sentiment that would be behind doing things specifically for Black folks. That's what they try to tell us. They say it's not enough people that would get behind reparations. Meanwhile, it's not a lot of folks that the LGBT rights, the majority of people weren't for that. But that didn't matter then. The majority of the people weren't for DACA. But that didn't matter then. But when it comes
it was never the public sentiment anything for us. Slavery, Jim Crow, signing the Civil Rights Act. It ain't never been a public sentiment of anything that's gonna benefit us, you know.
Right. So if we wait on that, we're gonna wait.
That ain't nothing new.
Yeah.
That ain't nothing new.
Right. But I mean, and at the end of the day, we can't wait. You know, we can't wait for something to no longer be taboo. And again, like you said, Ray, they use that as a tool to basically say that there's not enough people to get behind it. Like you said, definitely DACA, there wasn't enough people behind it, but with just a stroke of a pen, Barack made it happen.
Right.
You know,
it's unconstitutional in order for us.
And some people think that DACA was really unconstitutional because it really should have gone through the process, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we are just, even our own group don't understand that. First of all, to begin with, my two brothers, let me tell y'all something. Our people don't even understand that there's only two real civil rights acts, 1866 and 1965. We've been here 400 years and we got two.
Yeah.
We got two. And it's like, you know, until we get to the point of like understanding that we are owed this and we need our Black politicians to push this, because if you're not going to push it, we don't need you. We might as well have Bernie Sanders. We might as well have every other white person in these spaces, because you know what the truth is? We have a better chance of getting it from them than from you if you want to keep it 1,000.
For real, because y'all see it.
They run on when they run, they Black. When they get in office, they turn into people of color. What? Yeah. Black and brown, huh?
Right.
Absolutely. So you know, I guess it'll lead us to our next topic about, or our next concern or question would be what, Ray?
Who to have on the mural?
Next was, we only got one more topic, you know, so people, you know, some people gonna think we hating on a Black woman, you know what I'm saying, that we just mad at Kamala because she Black, you know. So I was just thinking, like, you know, any ideas? Who else could be up there besides Kamala? You know, I think we got some good.
I got the perfect person for the mural.
What'd you say?
I got the perfect person for a mural right there.
Okay. Go ahead.
Based off location, for real, I would put Barbara King right there. You know, her church is literally
right there,
walking distance.
Yeah,
and I got to say, she fits the crop. She's a Black woman. She done had that church for a very long time. I like the fact that she had Marianne Williamson there.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You know, she invited Marianne Williamson there to talk about reparations. She's unapologetic about doing things for the people. So that would be my pick.
Yeah.
I think there's not enough people that know enough about Barbara King, but I think that's a absolutely wonderful pick because you're right. She's right there.
That's a good point.
Yeah, it's not enough people that know enough about her. But because we're in the city of Atlanta and we in the city of Atlanta know who she is, right? We know exactly who she is, but enough people, and truthfully, because this is so local, I think that's the only that's probably the best pick.
And then
but if you want,
she just passed like a month ago.
Yeah, she did.
Rest in peace. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she should have definitely been it.
If you're gonna put somebody right there, put somebody who either successful, come from a ADOS background, or who did something fighting for Black people. But Kamala ain't doing. Kamala hasn't. What do y'all like? I'm not saying I support her. I don't support her. But what do y'all think about KLB?
Who?
If you're gonna put somebody right there, you know, this ain't about, you know, this is just about, you know, just, you know, symbolism. You know, what about Keisha Lance Bottom? She from Atlanta. She ADO. I'm not saying. I know. I feel you, Shamika. I'm not saying because of her record or anything. I'm just saying something more realistic. Somebody who came out of APS and was successful. That's all I'm saying.
I give it to her before Kamala. But go ahead.
Oh, for sure.
I'm saying. It make more sense than Kamala, who's from way up yonder.
What you got to say, Shamika, on that?
I mean, y'all already know how I feel about Keisha. You know,
yeah.
But you're right. But y'all right though. I would give it to her before I give it to Kamala. I would give it to her before. You're right. But I just Keisha. She stroked me the wrong way, man.
I'm just saying from where she come from. She come out of APS.
I get you.
You know what I'm saying? She from Atlanta. She ADOS. That's how that make more sense than Kamala. But did you have any thoughts of who would be a good somebody up there?
Well, the person I was thinking of is even worse than Keisha. So I'd rather not even, seriously. I ain't even gonna tell you no lie. That's why, even though I have my issues with Keisha, I the person that the mainstream, right?
Michelle.
The person man, you about to make me lose my religion on here, man. You about to make me cuss like I'm in. Hey, man, don't do that. But if I had to, and she's problematic. I don't exactly care for a lot of her, a lot of things about her. But if you're going to talk about a Black woman, ADOS woman, who have really done some things for the Democratic Party with not being properly awarded, y'all don't cuss me out. Stacey Abrams have done a lot for the Democratic Party. Not that not that I care exactly, that she's done that, but if they're going to, from a mainstream perspective, if you're going to, elevate somebody, Stacey Abrams have been out there stumping the ground with no reward, and she's ADOS.
Right. Now, ADOS people don't have a heart attack. We ain't saying we agree with their politics. We just talking strictly strictly from symbolism. Like you see little ADOS kid that go to high school, or go to Mays, or go to Terrell, or go
Right.
to middle school, elementary school, is ride down the street, say, "Hey, who is that?" You know, that's what we talking about. You know,
Right. So from the mainstream perspective, a lot of people would know who Stacey Abrams is. The younger generation really would not know who Barbara King is, and she was a writer. She really, really was. And it's too many people that just don't know. You know, Barbara King, she was the International New Thought Alliance for Life Achievement. She received that award, the Ernest Holmes Religious Science Award, International Civil Rights Walk of Fame for work in Dr. King's Chicago movement. Like she been, you know, she's been doing the work, you know what I'm saying? International Hall of Honor at MLK Junior International Chapel at Morehouse College. You know, she been doing the work, and locally we know these things. But like, you know, for people who are not really politically involved and have not been following a lot of things that matter, you would only understand or know the people that have been pushed in the mainstream.
yeah.
I
That's
think
why
Stacey
And Stacey Abrams, to me, she's been kind of ghost. I would love to see what Joe Biden is going to do for her. I read an article about all the money she's raising. She's raised over $30 million. Basically, that money that's supposed to go to Democratic candidates. It's money that's supposed to go to Democratic candidates. And, you know, I don't have a skin in the game when it comes to that, unless you're talking about what ADOS is talking about. But the truth is that if the Democratic Party is the party of the Black people or ADOS people, then, you know, she deserves to be treated in a different manner. And that's just not what they're doing to her. You know, she's doing all the heavy lifting, and Kamala is eating the fruit. Right?
Yeah. That's the story. ADOS. We do all the heavy lifting. We do all the work, the sacrifice, and other people that's not us benefit.
And I'm gonna tell you something right quick too. Don't be surprised if she turns down anything from Biden, because I don't know if y'all paying attention, but Kemp looking real shaky right now. Like Trump is chumping that man off on Twitter.
I seen it.
In that man, basically. So it's a lose-lose for this man. Like, everybody know Trump ain't gonna be able to pull this out. He pressuring Kemp to actually try to recount some stuff for the fourth time. So he got Kemp looking silly out here. So I don't know if Kemp will be able. You know, he had to steal it last time to beat Stacey Abrams. So I don't see him winning again, but that's just me. So Stacey might try to stick around and pull this off and become the governor of Georgia in a couple of years.
Well, she deserved it, but at the end of the day, again, going back to the article that we just looked over, like at the end of the day, Stacey winning that governor seat, that governor race, unless she is going to be about us, is still a lose for us.
Yep, we gotta get over that, Black people. We gotta get over that. Just getting the job. They got once they get in there, they gotta do something for us. You know.
Absolutely.
Some days over. I understand back in the, maybe coming out of the 60s and the 70s, 80s, we never had a black this. We don't have plenty of black politicians in office. We should be used to that. Now it's time to get more politically mature. Now we're trying to ratchet up.
And every time we in the space with these politicians, especially the black ones, but really all of them, we have to advocate for us, and we cannot tolerate the same business as usual, people of color stuff. We got to call it out every time and let them know that especially if they are represented, they got to be specific and they got to be able to gear their politics directly for us because we the ones that they're supposed to be representing. So, in closing, great show, great. I think it was thorough, and at the end of the day, we're gonna still try to reach out to that artist because I like to hear her perspective because she might not even have a view of politics. I won't be surprised if she say, "Look, they wanted me to do it. I looked at 3 pictures, I did it. Let's give her the opportunity." If you know, or she might block us like she blocked you, Larry. So I don't know.
Well, I think the best way to contact us on our website, you can send her like an email on the website, not through social media. So we can try that.
Yeah, because I would like to speak to her like from a female perspective so that she understands this is not about some intersectionality. This is really about the fact that we are done with symbolism. We are done with people, using our struggle for them to elevate themselves. And we need to understand that our history is rich enough that we don't have to elevate anybody else. We can elevate everybody locally and never touch somebody that really don't have our background. We don't never have to mention anybody. We can talk about all those unknown, like you say, when we have our meetings on Sunday, Ray. When you want to honor our ancestors, the known and unknown, man, let's challenge ourselves to finding those people that the mainstream have never talked about. Let's elevate those people. We don't have to elevate anybody else. Let's elevate everybody else that we know have impacted our neighborhood, that have impacted our history directly. We don't have to elevate anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Well said.
Good discussion. Hey Ray, can you make this, save it so we can edit it and upload it to YouTube later?
Yeah, we can. It's gonna automatically load. So while it loads, it's gonna be a couple hours, but we'll be able to go in there and get the kinks out in the beginning and all that good stuff.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Bet. All right, I ain't got nothing else. Anybody have something?
I just want to say thank y'all. I enjoyed the convo, and when we get in these politicians' face, we just got to be unapologetic like every other group. That's
Absolutely. And anybody who's watching, if you have not subscribed, please subscribe and share, so that the content can get out. And like Ray said, make sure that we become more politically mature.
Yeah.
That's it. Thank y'all. Face, we just got to be unapologetic like every other group. That's
Absolutely.
it.
And anybody who's watching, if you have not subscribed, please subscribe and share, so that the content can get out. And like Ray said, make sure that we become more politically mature.
Yeah. That's cool. We're going to edit all that out. So, all right, y'all. Peace and love.
All right. See y'all later.
All right.